Hello gamers, and welcome to a very exciting preview video for the upcoming Nemesis 1 DLC Air Assault for WARNO. I've got the chance to try out a preview build, so everything is still subject to change. And the first Nemesis DLC is bringing two new divisions, kind of the concept of the Nemesis DLC that you might know from Steel Division 2 already. There will always be two divisions. And the DLC also kind of bridges the gap between two larger DLCs. And yeah, the first Nemesis DLC offers the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault on the Allied side and on the NATO side. And on the Soviet side, Warsaw Pact, you've got the 56 Desantno-Szturmowa Brigada, which is the 56th Separate Guards Air Assault. Both are air assault divisions, but they actually lack forward deployment quite a bit for various reasons. And yeah, I'm going to, and also with future Nemesis DLC, you will have a choice. There will be presentation of pairs of divisions, so 3 times. So in total 6 divisions, 3 packages basically, and they will be introduced, and then you can vote on which division or which package you want as the next Nemesis DLC, which is a really cool concept. The divisions that are not chosen are then shelved and might return at a later stage, or they might not. Depends on circumstances. And yeah, let's start with the 56th. Like I said, everything is subject to change. I'm actually re-recording this video in a different resolution because I have technical difficulties. I've got my new laptop. I'm no internet. It's all a bit dodgy at the moment, and because of circumstances. But I want to give you a better image quality because it was stretched because I've got 16:10 resolution. Now it'll be better. But let's jump right in, and I'm making notes as well for the timestamps. I will start doing timestamps in the videos. So let's get a first initial look at the battle group. Logistics quite decent for an infantry division, for an air assault division. No forward supply here, no forward supply points. Infantry tab, the 2 last slots are a bit more expensive. Other than that, it's actually quite nice. Artillery, okay-ish. You get some tanks, which is good. Recon tab, a bit costly, I'd say. AA, also costly and not much choice. Helicopters, you get a few. And air, very limited, but you will see this is, I think this is a really good air tab when it comes to the actual units. And the 56th Separate Guards Air Assault was actually stationed in Afghanistan, and in the alternate history timeline of WARNO, the war in Afghanistan is still ongoing, so they've never been withdrawn to Russia. They have actually been redeployed to East Germany, or the GDR, and in order to help with the attack on NATO. And yeah, that's the situation here. So a bit ahistoric, alternate timeline stuff. So let's jump into the logistics, and I make notes. Okay, so you got some Ural snaps, 1000 or 2000. I will focus on the new units and special stuff. There are quite a few Frankenstein vehicles actually, which is nice. And you also get helicopters, including this massive Gruzovoy, Mi-6A Gruzovoy with 2000 supply. It's not the largest helicopter, but it comes close. And you get 3 on the card, which is actually pretty nice. It's only 65 points. And then you get a command helicopter, quite expensive, quite squishy, no armament, no arms. Then you get the Belosaur, There's already, it's only here, but there's also a variant that's amphibious. This one is not, even though there's quite a few amphibious vehicles in here, like the Chaika. And this is a variant of the BTR-60. There are several other BTR-60s, like the BTR-60 PDK, which has arms, so it can shoot with machine guns and stuff, but it doesn't have, it has only two availability, and the Chaika has 3 availability, and it looks pretty damn cool. Yeah, that's an eyes to behold. Yeah, and this is the tab. Yeah, you can get easily 2 supplies and 2 command vehicles in, maybe 3 supplies depending on your playstyle and if you want to play with a lot of artillery. Let's move on to the next tab, and that's going to be the infantry tab, all important infantry tab, with a lot of new vehicles as well. And also what they basically did, there is a disarmed variant, and they changed it into the DSH, and they lost their forward deploy, so they're airborne. And also the weapon loadout is slightly different, and there are some interesting units here. So you get the Commandantura, and they come with a new vehicle. It doesn't look like anything special, but it seems new. At least the variant is new. And it's the BTR-70. Then you get the Okrana, that's a new unit. And they were basically like they were in charge of securing the area and demining roads and stuff. And as you can see, it's still work in progress. Things like that will be fixed before release. This is a preview build, like I said initially. And yeah, 10 men strong. No AT, but still quite nice. And they've got a security trait. And if you bring them with the Metla, they have it has the security trait as well. And this is pretty cool, I think, because you have helicopter pods mounted on to the vehicle here. It's the same speed as the normal UI, which is a bit surprising, because I think this is quite a bit heavier, I would imagine, with all the weapons and stuff and the metal. But this is interesting. Yeah, and historically, apparently, when the Mujahideen started fighting with Stinger rockets supplied by the CIA, the helicopters were less used, and so probably they just, decided to use those pods on normal vehicles. Then you get the Superior Command. Only 4 men strong, AT rocket. I mean, it's got shock, but this is a squishy unit. It can come in this LUAZ, which is new, cute. It can come in the GTMU 1D, which is apparently also new, and the BTR 70D. Another variant of this Commandatura as well. So then you get the Saperi, another. Yeah, the 1 second. Okay. The Saperi. Do my notes say anything about that? Yeah, basically this is also newish. With the loadout, obviously it's only 5 men strong, so you get a variety of vehicles though. This tiny vehicle again, yeah, BTR-70D, 70S5, which has air-to-ground rockets as well, and the S8, which has, as you can see, more rockets and better rockets, and quite the pot up here. Yeah, I think it's worth bringing them just for this vehicle, to try it out. And also here with the Saperi Reese, they have an incendiary rocket launcher. Here it is. And you have a variety of vehicles as well, including this one with an incendiary rocket launcher. Quite nice. You get some HMGs, and you get 4 cards of the DSH Commandant. Also a variety of vehicles. This one being quite interesting, the BMP 2D, which is an up-armored non-amphibious version. It's now also put in 79th, and it has the Concourse ET missile, so that's quite nice actually. They can also come in a helicopter, so you could go, you know, and have quite a few helicopter units. Then the RPG-16 team, if I recall it correctly from the dev diary, has better range but worse armor piercing or penetration. Then you get the RPG-7VL with a lot of penetration in comparison. Again, you have some nice units here, like this one with a grenade launcher, or this one, the BMP-2D again. You also get the Pulmechiki new unit with a variety of options, including the BMP-2D. So you get a lot of AT capabilities with your infantry vehicles actually. You can get the Metis. This one with a grenade launcher here, quite nice. The DSH RPG-22 is quite interesting because it's kind of like 1.5 the size of a normal squad, with 14 men and accordingly quite a lot of firepower. Rather weak anti-tank rocket launcher though. It can come in helicopters as well, including helicopters that can put up a fight. And you get 2 cards, so that's actually quite nice. And there are 7 units on a card with trained, and still 5 at veteran, and that might actually be worth it, in my opinion. Bring them twice with veterancy. Then you get the Afghansi, like an Afghan name sort of. And yeah, you can bring them in helicopters again, including the Descent with a rotary cannon as well. Then you get the DSH SPG-9, so your AT gun or tank gun. You get the Faggot, which is not so good, and you get two cards of the Concourse, which is quite nice. And yeah, here it's nothing to write home about with regards to the vehicles. Here you get this one with a tank gun, which is nice. So you get kind of 2 tank guns. And also you get this tiny vehicle that comes with a tank gun as well. So all in all, it's quite interesting setup. You get all the tools you need, I think. Problem is that you that the strength of all the squads, but the RPG-22 is really, really low, I think. And that means you really need those support vehicles. Yeah, but it's I think it's a very workable and actually quite good tab. Now let's move on to artillery. No, sorry, to tanks. No, artillery was correct. Okay, my notes are correct. There's 1 new unit, so I will quickly go through the others. You get 82mm mortars, 120mm mortars. You get the Vasilek mortar. This looks quite interesting actually. With a grenade launcher here on top. 120mm, you can use that as a tank as well. I mean, like a squishy tank, because it hardly has any armor. Then you get 122mm, which can also work as a tank gun. So that's quite nice. You get some rocket launchers. This, I think, it's going to be really weak. And here you get some more firepower, but then again, you don't have a lot of slots and you don't have a lot of supplies. This could work as your kind of counter battery. Also has a tank gun to defend itself against infantry fighting vehicles, for example. And then you get something new. This is not a massive artillery piece. It's a mortar, 240mm mortar with HE. And then there's a variant with clusters as well. This is, I think, worth trying out. I will definitely try one of them out, maybe two, depending on how to build the deck, given that it's unlikely to bring a lot of ammunition or supplies. It's tricky. Now let's move on to the tank tab. In the tank tab, we've got the faggot mounted on this airborne unit, so forward deployment, which could be quite nice. It's interesting, at least. Then you get the T62 MD in a normal version, in MD1 and in the command version. And the difference to the normal M tank is these kind of additional cages that give you some extra protection. And then you get the command variant. You have the MD1 that does not feature an anti-tank missile, and you get the one with the anti-tank missile, the MD. Slightly less availability, slightly more expensive, but I think probably worth it already because of the range advantage you get over other tanks. Yeah, then let's move on to the RECO tab. I need to turn the page here. I could possibly also just pause, I guess, the recording. And yeah, here we are. There will be quite a few new units, in particular with the infantry. Here we go. We get the Rheostat, and it's airborne, so you can really forward deploy it. Exceptional optics. You get the ZSU 23 M4 M2. That's new. It's basically a Shilka, as you can see, with a radar and exceptional optics, but it can't shoot down planes any longer. Just ground targets and helicopters. I think this is going to be a fantastic support weapon for your infantry. You only get one, but I think this could be really good. You get 2 cards of this BRD M2, and you get the Razvedka, DSH Razvedka, which is kind of new, in a variety of vehicles, including this one with a grenade launcher, and also a variety of helicopters. The motorized Razvedka, they can come in the BMP 2D, which is cool because of the AT missile. And then you get the this is basically a new unit, but it's the kind of older version of an existing helicopter that's already in the game, and it has less ECM. It's got the jammer. Then you get another new unit, the Spetsnaz GRU Stinger, and they can come also here with this cool grenade launcher vehicle. Airborne, only good optics, only good... Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong card. Exceptional stealth, very good optics. So, yeah. And they've got Stinger. They've got pretty much all the traits you can get. Shock, Special Forces, Airborne, and RECO. So, yeah. Quite nice, I'd say. But you only get 4 cheap slots. So, probably Rheostat, maybe the Spetsnaz, and these 2 with the different vehicles, maybe also the helicopter, and well, you definitely need this, of course. So maybe even you need the 5th slot, depending on your play style. Now let's move on to the AA, and yeah, as you can see, work in progress. Things will be unit cards will be implemented for the final version when it releases. You do get the Igla, 2 cards actually, and what I find interesting, they've got the option to come in this infantry fighting vehicle with an AA gun. So I say, why not? For just 40 extra points, I think this is pretty cool. It can do ground support as well. That's a pretty damn good option. You do have some more Frankenstein units, these trucks here, and this one with a better gun, which is 23 2, which is basically this one. And it's interesting, you can get it here for just 40 points, but if you buy it as such, it's oh no, it's the same gun, but it's a different thing below. This one is faster. It's also squishier, I'd say, right? Yeah, it's also squishier. Yeah, but that's an option. Then you get the Afghansky. Your only long-range one is the Strela. So you probably have to bring this. What's good about it, it's all fire and forget, so you don't have to micro it. Let's move on to helicopters. And yeah, it used to be super important in Afghanistan. Remember Rambo? You get those Mi-8 MTs with a variety of rockets, all air to ground, but you can choose, your favorite loadout. Yeah. Then you get 2 cards here and here as well. Then you get the Mi-8 MT Guf and the Escort key. This one has 2 rotary cannon, grenade launcher, air to ground rockets. Quite the loadout. And this one has air-to-air missiles as well. I think this is pretty damn good. The Escortney. And you get the Mi-24V, and you get the P. But I think that's a VP as well, which is the best. You don't get it. So this is with an AT missile. Imagine that it takes you. It's pretty damn scary. 4 AT missiles to be precise. 2 cards. Then you get the Mi-24P, also with AT missiles, as you can see. Same AT missile, different rotary cannon. So yeah, also different rocket. Air to ground rockets, different range as well. And then you get a new plane, and that's this AA plane, rotary cannon and 4 air to air missiles. You get 2 cards. Also has air to ground rockets, so it's very similar with regards to the loadout to the Mi-8 MT, which is obviously doesn't have ECM, less health, no armor. That's the difference. Also, you get more air-to-air missiles and different air-to-ground missiles. But these 2 helicopters I think are pretty good. And then let's move on to the air tap, which I find is quite exciting. You get 2 MiG Orions as in the air-to-air role, depending on depending which air-to-air missiles you really want. There's hardly any difference between these 2 in the middle, as you can see. Well, let me do it like this. A little bit accuracy difference, and that's it. Difference between R and MR. But then the other air-to-air missile varies, and the shittier one that deals less damage and has less range, actually you get 4 of them. So yeah, you need to choose, or maybe take both planes if you can and feel like it. Then you get 2 SU and nicely armored, and one with cluster bombs and the other one with AG. You get a MiG with a napalm loadout to support your infantry, and then you get 2 new MiG variants, the AT-1 and the AT-2. And also what's pretty cool is you get this MiG-27K with a laser guided bomb. So this is a really cool air tap, and I would definitely take one of the AT planes, the LGB bomb, the LGB MiG, and one of the AA planes, and then possibly the Su-25AG. Yeah, that's a cool tap, in my opinion. A bit costly, but if it wasn't costly, then you know, it would be difficult balancing wise, I guess, as well. Then let's move on to the conclusion. So I think you know, with all the fire and forget stuff you get here, with the okay tanks, some of them with AT missiles, but also with a really good with the really good support vehicles you get for your infantry, lots of AT missiles, some very nice helicopters, really cool air tap, and yeah, the BMP-2D I think is really good, and yeah, I think this makes it a very well. It's a bit weak with regards to infantry numbers, infantry strength, but I think it makes it a very good division in my eyes for like beginners or intermediate players. Fire and forget, no radar, a good combination of tools, and if you build the deck correctly in a way that suits you and that utilizes the benefits, then I think this will be a really cool division to play with and a hard opponent as well. Yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think. What unit shall I take for the screenshot? Yeah, I think the helicopter here is pretty damn cool. I'm going to go for that one. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. Never forget that you can change the light ambience here since recently. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of the division. Until then, bye for now.